This is a lot to cover. Lies, defamation, manipulation, encouragement of hate and harassment, allegations, accusations, targeting of minors, mentions of sexual assault, and there's more. This video is not just a deep dive into small streamer leaks, but further a deep dive into small streamer Vanzelle and what they have done, said, and tried to do to my friends and I both publicly and privately. It is not fair to anyone to keep this information private anymore. The actions of Vanzelle have and are directly impacting and hurting people. We hope to prevent further misinformation from being spread and to provide full clarity and context to everything involved. We will try and warn you before sections where we talk specifically about heavy and sensitive topics, but I'd go as far as to say that's for most of the video, so here is just a little warning now. This is a long video, but everything in it is important to say and there's really no way to cut it down in fear of missing important parts. This video will be structured disclaimers and context from the beginning to the end, inconsistencies and conveniences, subtopics, personal statements, and then a final message to Vanzelle and anyone who has watched the entire video. For the last couple of days this has been going on, me and my friends have stayed up for countless hours investigating and gathering undeniable evidence of the points we're here to argue in this video. This includes clips of streams, recordings of voice calls, screenshots from videos, photos, and DMs directly from parties involved, all of which are going to help us to not only explain our point, but to prove it with clear evidence. If we offer assumptions anywhere in this video, we will be sure to state that it's our own opinion. As much as I didn't want the focus of this video to be lost, I've thought about how to start explaining everything, and there really isn't any other place to start than from the beginning. We will be offering as many specific dates as we can as to not confuse the timeline and to make the points clear. I think it's important to note before we get into this that as the TikTok account I'm about to explain continued to post, we got many screenshots of conversations friends and other streamers were having with the account. The timeline of the TikTok DMs is quite difficult to follow, even for us, so we will just stick to putting them where relevant. My involvement in this situation starts with the TikTok account, Small Streamer Leaks. This account posted its first 3 videos on Tuesday, May 6. These 3 videos I'm talking about to start are pinned, and one holds very important information which I will bring back up later in this video. In their first video, they state their intentions to be uncovering everything happening in the streamer world and claim this account is honest, insightful, and engaging. They made a second post to further clarify their intentions, stating that my main goal is to raise awareness about a certain creator and that they pushed me to stop streaming, implying that the person behind the account had once been a streamer themselves. Also on the same day, they made a third post sharing a QR code which they labeled as a form for the tea, where anyone can scan it and write information about any streamer they want. On this form, you can clearly see that they asked for no evidence and there's no way to provide evidence. Already on the first day of this account posting, they have completely contradicted themselves. How can they be honest and know the claims are true if they ask for no evidence and just post what is told to them? Here is direct proof of the account lying about having proof and being honest. A friend of ours, CJ Gamer, decided to make up and submit a completely fake story about himself to see if they do ask you to provide any evidence or just post it. And sure enough, on the same day, they posted a claim against him without having any proof or any way to know it was true. We can confidently say that this account asks for no proof before posting serious accusations and allegations about people.
Around this time is when Vanzelle's involvement in the situation became public. The account posted a claim against Vanzelle, to which she proceeded to post on her main account and her Discord that she will be doing a stream to talk about the allegations. Between the accounts posting about Vanzelle and the stream Vanzelle made to address this, Pipesyy got into contact with her. Vanzelle, in her own stream, with permission, read out word for word their conversation, which will be shown here. In her first message to Pipesyy, she says, "It came to me that one of my best friends is the owner of the account, and that they would always ask specific information about you. She claims she went to his apartment and got slapped and blocked. She says that she tried to previously report him, but he got bailed because his family is rich." It is important to note that also between this time in TikTok DMs, Small Streamer Leaks was very open about admitting Vanzelle's video was a bribe, and they posted an apology video, making Vanzelle the only one of 2 to receive a public apology from this account.
On Friday, the 9th of May, Vanzelle goes live with a stream titled Addressing the Allegations, which is 1 hour and 38 minutes in length. Vanzelle opens the stream with talking about her friend Edison and how he is the owner of the Small Streamer Leaks account.
I'm going to explain a bit about who Edison is, what his relationship with me is.
She gives the context that he's currently 21 years old and that he lives in one of the floors under her apartment, meaning they live in the same apartment complex.
Currently his age is 21 years old and he lives, because I live in an apartment, right? He lives in one of the, like, He lives on one of the floors underneath my apartment.
Vanzelle is currently 15 years old and says she moved to Canada around 6 years ago and that Edison moved with her. The age gap between them is 7 years, meaning she was 9 and he was 16 at the time of them dating, which was for around 2 months. She also says that Edison is not a streamer, yet he just happens to know so much streamer stuff.
How did Edison, a person that's not a streamer, know about so much streamer stuff?
She explains why she thinks he did this and provides more backstory as context. They broke up 6 years ago and she was the one to break up with him. She explains how she did it because he tried to do physical adult content stuff towards her and that made her uncomfortable.
We broke up. I was the one that broke up with him because I was uncomfortable with certain things that he was doing. It's a little bit of adult content stuff, physical.
It is important to remember that, according to Vanzelle, he was reported for this, but bailed out because his family is rich.
I said no because, like, one, I tried before and it didn't really work because he got bailed out.
He goes on to say that Edison asked her about an Among Us group that she was invited to, and talks about how he asked her specifically about members of the group, Pipesyy and Bog. Continues claiming that she didn't say anything bad about either of them, and then found out a couple weeks later that Edison despises both Pipesyy and Bog, but she doesn't know why.
And it was until weeks after I told him who they were that he told me that he despised them.
The stream father has a Q&A section, and when asked why she was friends with him, still, after experiencing the things that he has done to her, she mentions that she's bad at differentiating between whether people are good or bad, and talks about how that's related to her BPD and splitting. She says she's managed to stay friends with her exes previously, since she believes that they are good people with no feelings towards her still. When asked why she willingly gave away information about another 15-year-old to Edison, despite knowing his past actions, she explains it was due to her splitting, which made her believe that he was a good friend, which supposedly explains why she was unaware that he hated Pip.
So you admit to offering specific details to someone about a teenage girl, Pip, as someone who has been weird with younger people before. Okay, so I'm gonna make this very clear. So, I'm guessing you're saying when I dated him when I was 9. So, the thing is, like I said, I have a hard time differentiating if people are good or bad. And it's like, and I don't know, because I have huge attachment issues, so I just kind of forgave him. And remember, at the time, I didn't see him as a weird person. Like I said, it took me a year or more to realize that my ex was a bad person. And, like, in general, like, I really can't, because, like, my brain just died. Stuff. And I'm just gonna psychology lesson here, licensed therapist here. That doesn't excuse potentially putting Pip in danger, and this was fairly recent. No, I feel like excusing all with BPD isn't entirely fair. My friend has BPD, so I do know a lot about it, and I still feel like it's unfair. Okay, let me reread that. I'm too tired. Wait. Okay. So the thing is, because like I said, if a person thinks, like, examples, I'll give you guys an example that maybe you guys can understand it better. Like a child, they like candy, right? Okay, ignore how I'm using candy, but when a child likes candy, no matter how much the adult tells them that candy's unhealthy for you, it's gonna make you rot your teeth, you think the child's really gonna listen. It's because they liked candy, and it's not like they're really gonna listen to their parents. And despite knowing that candy is a bad thing, but their brain still thinks that it's good and it's great, they would still want to share candies with their friends. I hope that explains it. But, like, they want to share it with them because they don't know that candy is actually bad for you. But they would want to share it with their friends because they think that it's a nice thing or it's great or something.
I feel it's important to note that Vanzelle didn't stop to take a break from being on camera, except for 10 counted seconds where someone walks into her room. When asked if she was doing okay, Vanzelle explains that she's having a tough time in real life, with potentially being kicked out and not knowing if she'll be homeless. She also talks about struggling financially. Near the end of the stream, Vanzelle reveals she's going to make a YouTube video about this, where she'll let out everyone else's point of views, but wants to be the one to post the video. After this section of the stream ends, she goes on to talk about her upcoming events in the last 8 minutes of the stream.
Looking at the timeline, Vanzelle started her stream around 4:30 p.m. EST, and it ended at 6:08 p.m. EST.
For the stream is because currently it's 4:34 for me.
A call to discuss matters then took place at 6:15 p.m. EST, very shortly after the stream ended. The call was about whether or not we were able to post a video on the situation, as in Vanzelle's stream, they mentioned that they wanted to be the one to post the video. However, we felt it was fair to post our own to talk about our personal experiences of this situation. In this call, Vanzelle mentions that she has a lawyer in order to help her get a restraining order against Edison, as she is scared of him and says, "I don't want to die."
So,
it's more like it's not that I don't want you guys to post a video. It's more like the thing is like I can't like because I don't have a restraining order on him yet. So if you guys post a video before the restraining order, I can't physically do anything about it like beforehand, right? So like maybe I don't know when you guys are gonna post it, and if anything's getting talked out of context or if the information's wrong, then that'll be really bad. Because like many times in the live, like when I was like live, you guys still like questioned a lot of stuff that I've already explained, and still made certain assumptions that like certain stuff was like wrong and stuff, and I don't want that to happen. It's like if any information that's wrong gets let out from your guys' side, the whole situation might be like twisted and stuff. I don't know, it might be bad or something like that. I'm just worried. Sorry.
okay, I just want to say, I don't have an issue with you making your video first or something like that. I don't have an issue with that. I'm saying that it should. Sorry, I just saw something wrong. Anyways, I'm just saying that me and my friends should be able to make a video since we were a part of this entire thing. Yeah, our names were brought up and things were happening to us because of the actions of the account. So I'm not fully, I don't feel like that you shouldn't be allowed to make your video first. I'll let you make your video first. Me and my friends just want to be able to make our video because we were affected by what happened in this in this whole ordeal.
Give me one second. My parents are calling me. Give me a second. Sorry. Most restraining orders, depending on the severity or if he would go against the restraining order. If he goes against the restraining order, then it can go for months, and according to like past restraining order experiences that I had, it could go on for years, like genuinely.
See, my thing is that of course you being safe is like a big priority. That is important, and I fully agree. But to some degree, these lies about me are affecting me now, and if I don't do something to clear them up, they're still gonna affect me in like the time that we're waiting. Whereas you've already cleared like your name, so you can just continue going on. But
it's not really about clearing my name. It's more like a safety reason. It's more like a safety reason because he lives literally right under my apartment. It doesn't even take him 2 minutes to get to my apartment and go knock. So like I'm genuinely trying to not affect anything. And like Sammy said, it's if there's
yeah.
Sorry, I'm sick. Sorry, but like, if the restraining order isn't done and you guys post a video with Canadian rules and stuff, it might end up the restraining order to be declined or something, and it won't work at all, and I'll end up just not having a restraining order on him or anything.
But aren't you posting a video?
If I post a video, it would be fine because I'm the main, not sounding self-centered, but like in like a law way to say this, like the main people that's this whole situation's happening is me and Edison, because
is bro the main character?
No, but it affects Pip. Like, what do you suggest Pip should do then? Instead,
Yeah, because
this is an active issue.
I'm not discrediting that, like this, the restraining order is very important for your safety, but Ollie, shut up. In the meantime,
I'm trying to help you. See how you're being
Mute your
hater?
mic,
Lord.
bro. Mute your
just
mic.
one sec, we have to. In the meantime, this still affects me and my streaming, and I put a lot of hours into this, and to be affected by this, and for people to still bring this up because I'm not allowed to explain myself doesn't really seem like a fair outcome of the situation. Because
as much as like I extremely like I said, I have nothing against any of you guys. I want to make sure if
someone kick Ollie.
I can just
Please no.
if you want, I can just not talk. Okay. But like in general, like yeah, but like in general, like crap, I don't even know what I'm saying. Oh my god, I'm waxing. Okay. But like in general, like I really want to make sure every single one of you, like with like streaming and stuff, is all good. But like in general, I really want to make sure you guys are safe. But like at the same time, I really can't, like I really can't, because I'm genuinely scared, because like I'm genuinely scared. Bro's like 21 years old. I literally couldn't help myself at all, and I don't want to die.
We asked her about when she got this lawyer in relation to her stream, to which she said she sent the first email to the law firm before her stream, and then got a reply, and essentially got a lawyer to take her case mid-stream. Throughout the entirety of this stream, not once did she stop in order to read or type a response to send to her lawyer. The typical response time of a lawyer during business hours is a few hours and can take up to a day or two in some cases, depending on the firm being busy or short-staffed. Vanzelle claims that she emailed a law firm, got a lawyer midstream, and now has them and communicates with them through WhatsApp. It is very unrealistic for a lawyer to communicate important full case discussions through WhatsApp, as that would affect privacy and confidentiality, as well as record keeping. She then proceeded to send us a message directly from her lawyer.
Immediately upon reading this message, we noticed some telling signs that this was not real. The use of the M- was what initially pushed us into thinking it was AI. We proceeded to run it through multiple AI checkers, which confirmed our suspicion. The message also lacked the use of full names of the people involved and didn't include Vanzelle's name anywhere in it. The message lacked formalities and language that a lawyer would use. The tone and style is too informal, best shown as a lawyer would never use PS in a message. The message also lacks law firm details at the end, as there's just her name and no address or phone number, whereas a real lawyer would include full contact information in their messages. Another thing this message is missing is legal citations or references to them. A lawyer would reference specific laws or court orders when making claims such as, "This could delay your case by 3 to 4 years." The structure, tone, and content of the email is odd and not something a lawyer would send a client in any situation. Vanzelle claimed to be getting messages from her lawyer during the time we spoke. Just to remind you, the call started at 6:15 p.m. EST and lasted approximately an hour. It is very unrealistic for Vanzelle to be getting a response from her lawyer within 5 to 10 minute time frames, and for them to even be in contact after working hours. She confirms her lawyer is based in Canada and is messaging between the hours of 6 and 7.
Your lawyers are very formal. They sent this letter like it was a fucking letter, bro. Jesus Christ.
Is your lawyer based in your country, or?
Wait, what does that mean? Sorry.
In Canada. Is your lawyer based in Canada?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lawyers work a 9 to 5, or at least these specific ones. We asked and were given the website to which she got her lawyer from, and this law firm does not work outside of regular hours. Upon being given the website, we searched the page for an Amy Lau and saw no trace of her. We searched for her in general and saw that she was in a completely different legal area. We then asked her specifically how she got this lawyer, to which she replied she contacted the email on the website. She stated that in her email she explained her situation and that she needed help. She also confirmed a lack of parental knowledge or consent by saying, "I'm I'm 15 and trying to get a lawyer. I don't know what you expect me to do. A lawyer would not and cannot accept a case without parental permission and compliance unless under specific circumstances. We asked her to send the exact address she emailed, to which she sent the one from the website but with a one-letter variation. We double-checked with her to see if she meant to do that, to which she said she's dyslexic and she doesn't see the difference, making it unclear if that was the email she emailed or not. In order to verify, we tried to email the address with the variation, to which the email immediately bounced, meaning the email doesn't exist. Email accounts take up to 2 months to be fully deleted. When pressed about this, Vanzelle proceeded to mention that it could be a scam lawyer. To check once more, we asked her to send the email she was communicating with again, but this time not typed out but copied and pasted so no mistypes could happen, to which she sent the exact official email from the law firm's website. This means Vanzelle had lied about having and actively talking to a lawyer throughout the call, as the first email doesn't exist and the second email belongs to a legitimate law firm.
Why is Vanzelle lying about having a lawyer? An important detail to bring up. It shows that Vanzelle is trying to manipulate us into silence about the situation by scaring and threatening us with legal trouble if we do speak out. For example, at one point she says her lawyer can fine us if we make a video about it.
According to what my lawyer was telling me a second ago when I was explaining it, they said that I was asking like if anyone outside of like you guys like make a video or somehow makes any type of like spreading information, doesn't have to be false, but just spreading information in general about the situation, then my lawyer or someone in her department would have to send an email telling them that like that's not okay or something, and like they would be fined or something.
They can't fine you for that.
They cannot
really
fine.
That's what my lawyer is telling me. Like I said, I don't know what's going on.
Another thing discussed in this call, prior to us finding out the lawyer's fate, was how making a video would affect the restraining order that she said she was in the process of getting. Vanzelle says that making a video goes against public to public and that she doesn't know our fans who's watching our content. We proceeded to ask her how that's any different than her doing a stream, and she claims it's because she knows the people watching and trusts they won't tell anyone else. With leaving the VOD up, you never know who of the many Twitch users are watching it and talking about this information. Once it's out there, you cannot control the spread. A real lawyer would have advised her to take the VOD down if there was concerns of public to public actively delaying or affecting her case. The most telling sign of the lawyer's non-existence is the fact that she said she got it whilst on stream, yet she did not take more than 10 seconds off camera the entire time.
Throughout the entire call, all that was discussed was if we were allowed to make the video and our talks about the lawyer. We would also like to make it so incredibly clear that not once, any time throughout the entirety of this call, did anyone bring up or mention the topic of SA. Not once at all. This is relevant information for later, as she posts more claims and accusations against us on both her private and public TikTok account. We feel as if it is important to present the information in chronological order, but just to note, after realizing Vanzelle was willing to threaten us with a fake lawyer in order for us not to make a video, we decided to look through everything again with an open mind, and that's when we noticed inconsistencies with the story she presented.
On Sunday, the 11th of May, we got into a second call with Vanzelle, a Twitch mod of hers named Fire, Pipesyy, Strikatron, Nyxists, GlitchBTV, and very briefly, OnlyOllie. We asked pretty near to the start as to why she lied about us talking or even mentioning SA, to which she said that we did, but very briefly.
I want to talk about how you mentioned in a video and in like DMs to people that on the call that we all had yesterday, was it? Like with the 6 of us, that we talked about the topic of SA, but we didn't once.
Yeah, that was never at all brought up.
Yeah.
Bach and Hysteria did actually.
Bach did?
Bach and Hysteria were saying how they were fake and how all of this is fake and how the essay, the lawyer, and everything are fake. And it's just me making it up. We were all on call. Am I supposed to screenshot a call?
I feel like all of it is fake is kind of a bit of a out of context thing.
Yeah.
I think Bok was just not like, Bok didn't believe the thing about the lawyer and it was late and he wasn't very happy. Like, he doesn't want to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I felt that was very clear. I can see if you thought it was disregarding your experiences and stuff.
Yeah.
But I can almost guarantee that that's not what he meant.
You guys can ask Firewolf. Firewolf was there too, and
Well,
I'm pretty sure that
we can wait until Firewolf.
It's just, I was just very confused because in that entire call, I don't remember there being, we never brought up.
Yeah, it was never mentioned once.
It was never mentioned once, so I was very confused to see, you talking.
It was mentioned because me and no, wait, words, hold up. Okay. I was explaining to you guys because Asteria was trying to explain how, because they were no. Asteria was saying about the whole situation with being groomed. They keep reminding, saying oh, but the situation was that and that. He also said that in the Discord server and also a few others. So he also said that a few times in the call, and I asked for them to tone that down since it's sensitive. And then the situation, it was very short. It lasted around 45 to 50 seconds, the conversation of this, but it still happened. It's not long, but it still happened. And give me a quick second.
After being in that call and rewatching it more than twice, I can firmly reassure you that it was never mentioned. When asked when we talked about it, she says Fire will tell you that we did. However, Fire had no memory of it being talked about, because it wasn't. Essentially, she asked and pressured Fire to lie about this. Plain and simply. This is really crossing a line for us, because in no way did any of us ask to be involved in the first place. Now we're getting accused of saying someone's experience with SA didn't happen, when we never even mentioned or brought it up once within the calls she claimed that we did. We have the entirety of both calls recorded for this situation, with no cuts. We press her more on the lawyer to see if she reveals anything else, which she says she hasn't faked the lawyer, she's just stupid, and it's her being dumb/scam. In this call, Vanzelle apparently gets on a call with her mum. Problem is that when she's on the call with her mum, her phone starts to ring. If you're on a call with someone, your phone will not do the normal ring, and it would not be loud enough for us to hear. At the very end of the call, she says she's hanging up, which confirms her conversation with her mum was supposedly on the phone and not in real life. How would her phone be ringing if she was on the phone? And if we could hear the phone ringing, we would be able to hear her mum to some degree. According to close friends of Vanzelle, when she has conversations with her parents, it is usually in Mandarin, especially if it's for longer periods of time. We also have the entirety of this call recorded with no cuts. In Vanzelle's phone call with her mum, she talks about giving her $20,000 and also mentions how she's struggling financially, though she has Discord Nitro and offers to buy Discord Nitro for her friends. She also mentions that she has 6 jobs and owns her own online businesses, one of which to do with clothing. School, 6 part-time jobs, online businesses and streaming, all at 15. She goes on to employ someone who owns a fan account of her over TikTok. She also DMs my friend who was in the call, the same night of the call, asking if there's any way for her to make money quickly. There is just no way that you are on the verge of being homeless and are struggling financially crazily, but working 6 jobs and paying for things such as Discord Nitro. There is simply no way.
That's something. And I'm struggling financially like crazy.
I'm also simply curious how and when you have the time to stream, record, edit, go to school, do schoolwork, run your own businesses, and work 6 jobs. On leaving the call, Vanzelle asks us to send the video to her so she can send it to a friend before it's posted, in order to check that there's nothing bad or wrong in it. For someone with nothing to hide, they seem very paranoid about what is put in the video. This call with her mum felt more like her speaking at her and not to her. Another thing we heard while rewatching this call was Vanzelle say that both her and her mum have jobs and tells her to get the money herself, but later on says that her mum doesn't have a job.
On Tuesday, May the 13th, I opened TikTok to realize Vanzelle had blocked me and a couple of my friends. I personally really wasn't that bothered and honestly didn't mind, but then Vanzelle posted too many rounds to her private.
Okay, random rant, but someone explain something to me. I swear, this is a streamer thing, so if you're not a streamer, you might not understand, but oh my god, so good. This is pissing me the fuck off, because everyone's there's some streamers, I'm not gonna name names because I'm not a tattletale or anything, but there's certain streamers that people think are literally the nicest people ever, ever, a lot of streamers, which at first I did too, until I became a friend of theirs, and I can say this now because they literally blocked me, so I can say this. And they also unfriended me. And also proceeded to say certain situations aren't true. But like, what the fuck? I literally talked to them for like a few minutes and I literally hear them talk shit about at least 15 other streamers that I thought they're best friends with. What the fuck?
Oh my god, back with another rant because I literally just finished my rant and I get some new information. Because, you know, this is just gonna be like my place where I can rant because no one ever fucking listens to me rant in my actual account.
So like, I swear with my life I'm gonna punch someone because like, oh my god. How in the world exactly does someone ask someone, like, give me proof that you have been essayed before? Like, what the fuck do you want me to do? Send you a video clip of it happening? Like, what do you want me to do? And they're like, I don't believe you that this happened. So if this means that it didn't happen, then that means that this whole thing didn't happen. I have 4 people asking me for proof that I got essayed. What proof? You want me to show you a picture of it happening? You think when it's happening, I'm gonna go like, hey man, just like, you know, I'm recording this for future proof.
Can I just say something? This is genuinely pissing me the fuck off. Because like, the past few days, I've just been getting allegations on allegations on allegations on shit that I didn't even do, and this is pissing me off. Like with streamer leaks and stuff. And a few weeks ago, like someone was trying to blackmail me with information. And dude, I'm 15 and you're trying to blackmail me. Like, what's the pathetic age? You're not supposed to blackmail people at 15? Really? Has humanity really downgraded to this point? But the point is just leave me the fuck alone. I didn't do anything wrong, and what you're doing is not nice. What you're doing is just ruining my life. Like with my streaming stuff, and you guys know this. Everyone that tried to sabotage me knows how much streaming means to me. And you guys are trying to take that away from me because you guys hate me? Like, I don't understand. And the best thing is, you guys know I did nothing wrong, and you guys still decide to say, oh, hey guys, we have proof that Vanzelle's this type of a person. No, you fucking don't. I'm trying to be nice here, but with all due respect, I almost have no controversies with anyone unless you guys make some allegations and it makes me have a huge argument with someone else that believes your allegations. But other than that, I have no beef with anyone. So the people that's making this shit about me, leave me the fuck alone. But like, if you're not those people that made the allegations about me and you're still watching, just ignore it. Honestly, I swear if I get another allegation, because I hate drama and this is not helping.
She continues to lie about us asking for proof of her sexual assault when not once in any of our interactions did we ever say anything remotely close to that or even bring it up. She also lies saying that we blocked her, which was weird because we didn't. The fact that they continue to pathologically lie on their private account is quite concerning, as we don't know who else she's been telling these things to. I have to keep coming back to the section as she continues to post more and more on her private. Again, we have nothing to hide. Nothing in the 2 voice calls we have fully recorded with no cuts, and nothing in DMs or messages with her.
After this call, aside from her private TikTok rants, we have made no effort to talk to her again. However, Vanzelle did mention wanting to call with us for a 3rd time. We kept her and ourselves waiting for an answer on that, but at this point, we felt as if another call with her had little to no benefits. As well as being mentally drained and physically tired, we had no intentions of getting in another call with her to hear her twist and manipulate anything we say way out of context. This is the entire rundown of the story explained in chronological order with details and evidence. Now, we want to jump back. Along the way, rewatching calls, the VOD, and looking through screenshots, we came across things that just don't add up. Within this story, there are many inconsistencies and conveniences. In this section of the video, the things we are about to discuss are our connections and assumptions we can make from all we have experienced. This is all the inconsistencies and conveniences we have noticed. If further evidence or information is revealed publicly, then we are willing to recant what we have said here. I think it is important to put this out here so people watching can draw their own conclusions. This section is not fact and cannot be proven directly, like the way it was earlier. We feel that it is important to put out everything to the public and let you, the viewer, come to a logical decision on what you personally think, rather than just us having all this information. The first thing that doesn't make sense entirely is the account itself and its attitude towards Vanzelle. If Edison hates Vanzelle so much and is the owner of the account, why is the account so publicly nice to her? As of now, Friday, May 16th, the account has posted a second apology to Vanzelle. I find it hard to believe that this person went so far as to make an entire account and do so much just to change their mind? It doesn't really make any sense. The first video of Vanzelle's to be reposted was on the 6th of May. They first apologized to her on May 8th and apologized to her a second time on May 15th. If Edison hates Vanzelle so much, why is he reposting so many of her videos pre-apology? I don't get why Edison would be so open about owning the account now either. At the start of all of this, the main point of the account was for it to be completely anonymous, and the account was very careful about having the people running it to be kept a secret. Why all of a sudden now is Edison just telling people it's him? Especially knowing that Vanzelle is openly revealing that he owns the account, wouldn't he want to hide himself even more? It's just not in character for him to randomly admit to it carelessly to anyone who asks. One of the first posts from the account stated that Edison was a streamer at some point, but Vanzelle contradicts that by saying he isn't, and he only watched her streams through her phone. Vanzelle claims he is not active on Twitch. If he doesn't use Twitch, why does he care about uncovering things in the streamer world? And how does he already know who Pipesyy and Bach are? He has to have found those two from either Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, or Twitter, yet there aren't any traces of accounts which link back to him. Another thing that I can't understand is how Edison is allowed to live in the same apartment complex as her. If Edison has been put in jail and bailed for assault and other charges which directly involve Vanzelle, surely there has to be some agreement which would have been arranged to put some sort of restraint or distance in place between the two of them, especially when he was initially bailed out. It is very unlikely that they would be allowed to contact each other. I find it hard to believe that the judge did not impose a no contact order or anything of the sorts. Also, if he is very rich and well off financially to the point where he has offered her $10,000, then why does he live in an apartment?
He tried to say, hey, I'll give you like $10,000, I'll give you anything you want.
Another thing that doesn't make sense is why he hates Pipesyy. It sounds disgusting to say, but if this is a guy who likes younger girls, it makes no sense for him to have such a strong hate towards Pipesyy, who is a young girl herself. There's a general sense that Vanzelle and Pipesyy share a similar vibe, and so it makes absolutely no sense that he would hate Pipesyy without reason, and with no contact with her whatsoever. Edison coming back from Vanzelle's past into her life and making a TikTok account to hate on people he realistically wouldn't know about seems very convenient. In Vanzelle's last comment in the most recent apology video, she says she will forgive Edison, but that he makes her uncomfortable and she won't continue being friends with him. If you don't want to be friends anymore, why do you still follow his account? It just makes no sense.
Something slightly unrelated that I've noticed from all of this is that Vanzelle seems very okay with the use of AI, to which she even posted a video with an AI-generated thumbnail. Just personally, I think that's very wrong, as it takes away from artists, especially those who are commissioned and paid to draw thumbnails. The space of streaming and content creation in general is very creative-based, and the use of AI in this space is really not needed and to a degree harmful.
Going back to the account, and what made us think to bring that up is that the videos on small streamer leaks look as if they are written by AI for the most part, specifically in the ones where they are calling people out. However, the videos they post, which are written by a person, have some other notable elements to them. For a 21-year-old, Edison is worryingly bad at spelling and has very unusual grammar. The sudden switch between the personal videos and the main ones make it very obvious that it's AI, or it's written by a different person. This made us think of something we know about, linguistic fingerprint. To break it down, it is made up of several factors such as word choices, phrases, sentence structure, dialect, spelling, and stylistics. Edison has made quite a few common spelling mistakes, whereas Vanzelle is dyslexic. In no way are we accusing Vanzelle of owning the account at all, we are just pointing out something that we've observed. We've also noticed small streamer leaks commenting on a video of hers, which you replied to the comment. You really want to move on, I just don't get why you don't delete that comment. I don't know though, everybody thinks differently. Another side note I want to go off on has to do with Vanzelle, Zen, her ex, Lucy, an editing account of Vanzelle, and let's call her Flower, Zen's new girlfriend. Disclaimer, I do not know much of what took place between Vanzelle and Zen during the course of their relationship. Frankly, it is not any of my business. I do want to talk about what little I do know quickly. From my outside view, Vanzelle has made this situation very public, and in doing so was first to break the agreement her and Zen set up about keeping things private and not making each other look bad.
So my viewers, you guys know, I used to be dating a absolutely toxic person.
Lucy, an editing account of Vanzelle, goes into Vanzelle's private life and finds, bullies, and harasses Zen's new girlfriend, Flower. If Vanzelle knows of this, she should put the boundary in place and tell her fans that actively making fun of and finding people from her personal life is not okay. However, Vanzelle publicly condones and actively encourages this behaviour from her fans, which we can see as she comments on those hateful videos. All we've asked for was proof of Edison owning the account, and some sort of tie to him for further research and investigating, such as a social media account, a photo, a voice recording, just something. We have asked very respectfully and politely and have gotten nothing. It's very easy to prove the existence of somebody who you have known for 6 years. Somebody doesn't just leave no trace at all, especially if they're involved with things like streaming and social media. Anytime we have asked Vanzelle for proof of something like screenshots of the emails she had sent and gotten from her lawyer, or screenshots of the messages between her and Edison from before the stream, she has refused to give us anything. Again, not once have we asked her for proof of anything to do with SA, and not once have we told her she is lying about anything besides having a lawyer. That we did tell her, and that we have accused her of. Nothing else. Not owning the account, not lying about SA, not anything. What we have pointed out are details which don't exactly match up and make sense, as well as things that match up too well. That is all.
14th of May. I get into my bed at 10 p.m. I turn my phone off and just cry. I just lay there, head on my pillow, and sob my heart out. I open my phone 40 minutes later to see messages from Ollie asking me to call, and even though everything in me is telling me to make up some excuse, I don't. I drag myself out of bed, tears still in my eyes, and just let it all out. It's as if the gravity of the situation hits me all at once, and I just sit there and I can't stop crying, knowing that at the time I was one of the only people to know the full extent of everything and be affected by it was heavy, heavier than I realized. And I'm writing it down on paper in this moment that I didn't care how this made me look. I didn't care whether people believed me or not. I have done nothing and have nothing to hide. I just want to be free from her effect and free from the situation I never asked to be a part of in the first place. In my mind, when I post this, I feel like it's all out there and it's not up to me anymore. It's up to you to decide what you think. Once this information is public, I'm free, and I suppose if you're hearing this, then we did go through with making the video, and I am. The fact that I have left Vanzelle completely alone, publicly and privately until now, yet she keeps saying more and more and has the audacity at the same time to promote her videos and content in my Discord server is beyond me. We are both 15, this is so unnecessary. For context for how crazy this is, I was switching between writing this and doing my English homework that I still haven't done. I stayed up for an entire night in the peak of this due to how much the situation was affecting my anxiety. If you're willing to take it this far, I don't know how much further you're willing to take it. Where is the line? I'm done.
Vanzelle. It's been a while, not long enough. I don't doubt that you are watching this, and I can't help but wonder what sort of panicked messages, lies, you are sending each one of your friends in an attempt to undermine our argument like you've been attempting to do for the past 2 weeks. Constantly posting untrue TikToks and stories about us when we've been nothing but silent. Sounds like fear of the truth to me. You frequently persist the idea that you're just 15, yet you fail to acknowledge that you have hurt others around you, including Pip, who is also, in your words, just 15. You've hurt my friends, and I would be stupid to disregard that in favour of pitying you, solely for your age. You neglect to realise I was also 15 once. Yet I never was, and never met, anyone as cruel as you. I've met and interacted with hundreds of people over my 14 years of the internet, yet I'm not sure any have taken it quite as far as you have. I hope you weren't referring to us in your post about losing friends, because one thing I do want to make clear is that I was never your friend. Pip was never your friend, and I'll never even consider that happening. We had one conversation previous to all this, and I could tell what kind of person you are from a mile away. Do not associate me with you, because quite frankly, I'd never stoop so low to believe your words and lies without question. Trust should be earned, not manipulated through pity. It is an insult that you'd ever start to consider that I would fall for your bullshit. I'd like to say I'm better than getting involved in all this drama, but when my friends are actively struggling, it would be so incredibly wrong of me not to help them in any way I can. My friends are not a stepping stone. I don't get them to lie for me, make excuses for me, be bad people for me. I'll help them if they need me, and I think it's objectively wrong of me not to say anything about you and your actions. If you were to continue to get away with this, I'm not sure I'd be able to fathom how far you'd take it, whose lives you'd ruin next to entertain your tragic backstory. Trying to scare others into silence is not okay. Defamation is not okay. Making serious claims without an inkling of evidence is simply not okay. This world does not revolve around you. It was here long before you and will be here long after. In what short, fleeting time you have, you've been able to convince me and so many others that you are such a horrible, awful, selfish person. People aren't leaving you. They're escaping, finding a better place to be, somewhere less toxic. I cannot believe I've lost sleep over your attention-seeking, manipulative ways. Missed deadlines because you had to keep going. Be happy you're even somehow worth the paper that I'm wasting on you. I refuse to dive into my personal life because, unlike you, I do not want the attention and pity to defend me. Nor is that the point of this video, so I'll keep it at this. I have had such a terrible month involving car accidents and family incidents, and I have to go online and listen to you lying for the 100th time, getting more and more absurd, and I truly do not know what to think. Each day is something new, something that contradicts the last thing you've said. I am not stupid. None of us are. You can't just lie your way out of everything. The things you say are serious, and I don't think you understand the effect these can have. I can only hope that you stop streaming. You are in no way the kind of person who should be looked up to, and you need to acknowledge that. Someone who continues to hurt and harass others should not have a platform to get away with it. I'm not saying I'm a good person, but what I can say for certain is that you are a horrible one. Please go outside. Get some friends. Attention. Good attention. Call the police if you need to, if you seriously need help. Stop dragging random innocent people into your sick problems. That is cruel and in no way deserved. You seriously need to stop and look into therapy or something that can help you, if that's even possible. Anyway, in true Vanzelle 8 minutes of the stream fashion, check out my new Minecraft event, guys, or SMP, or I don't really know, I don't care. Hey, follow my Twitch, twitch.tv/Nyxists. Trust, it's great over there.
To close the book on the situation that I've lost multiple nights of sleep for, I personally do not believe that you're a good person. I would recommend that you get off the internet and seek professional help, because it'll be better than whatever you're currently doing by spreading lies about me and my friends. You went out and called me an unmedicated schizophrenic, and then stalked me and found me and my girlfriend's Snapchat. I have met many people on the internet, older and younger than me. People that are horrible, but you really take the cake for me. All you have done is try to make others feel like they have done something incorrectly. You want people to feel pity towards you, when truly I feel pity towards people that have to deal with it. It feels as if you'll stop at nothing to make sure people feel some sort of sorry for you. You have deliberately lied about your financial state, being a mass murderer, a blood-drinking demon or some shit, and to everyone you've interacted with, I apologize to them, because it is genuinely disgusting. You blocked me because I had you a simple question about a situation that you wanted questions. But when we gave you questions that you were not ready to answer, you got mad. We have every single interaction we've had with you since stream. The fact that you spread lies about me, asking about the essay inside the call, and then pressuring Fire to agree with you when you know goddamn well that that didn't happen. You did not let us make a video because you wanted the clout for this, even though it was all of our stories. I hate you with every fiber in my body. And you are one of the worst people to come out of Twitch.tv. Get professional help and stop streaming. You have made me genuinely think of committing suicide. Vanzelle, I was never your friend. But I have one choice of advice for you. You don't have to put other people's down to lift yourself up. Subscribe to OnlyOllie on YouTube and find my Twitch or something. I'm very Sigma. Skibbity Riz, Skibbity Toilet.
Hello, Vanzelle. Before I start, I just want to let you know that the golden rule still applies, to treat others the way you want to be treated. Though we haven't known each other very much at all, I've heard about and seen the things you have done to Pip and Ollie, and it genuinely makes me mad when I think about it. As well as lying about the lawyer, you've lied about being a licensed therapist, and even if you know that it's illegal, you chose the wrong process, because not even a professor can give you your license. You have to meet the education requirements, and a state board has to issue it. In your stream 9 days ago now, you talked about how you kept getting death threats and that your age regression is a disorder. Did a doctor make that medical diagnosis? Because it's not a disorder. It is a trauma response or a stress response. Now we're self-diagnosing ourselves with disorders? If you're doing that, who knows how much of the truth you've really told your friends. If your age regression has legitimately been going on for a while, as you claim, then I would suggest seeking professional help, such as therapy, or psychiatrists to figure out why you've had age regression for this long, as typically it only lasts a couple weeks. Since you've lied about so many things, I took the golden rule into my own hands. I went ahead and lied about wanting to call with you, I faked my empathy as you have done towards Pip, and I deflected just as hard as you did in our most recent DMs. If you choose to take a break from the internet, I will not make any means to contact you personally, and I hope that you find new friends. But I was never your friends. None of us were.
In conclusion, leave me alone. I have spent several hours on this situation I didn't ask to be a part of in the first place. I am simply a 15-year-old girl who likes to make videos, stream, socialize, and that's all. I felt the need to speak out directly against Vanzelle to prevent her from ever being able to do something like this again to someone else, and to speak up for those Vanzelle had successfully managed to silence. Vanzelle does not deserve a platform in any way at all, and does not deserve to be protected publicly and privately anymore. If you are watching this or see this in any way, Vanzelle, you seriously need to take a break from the internet to take time to age and grow as a person, as well as reflect on your actions. The fact you are willing to take it this far in the first place is beyond me, and as a fellow 15-year-old girl, I genuinely think you are not mature enough to be a part of the streaming space at all. You have crossed line after line after line. The fact that you have lied about us talking about serious topics which affect real people and have successfully gotten away with it for so long is beyond me. Even if you do leave the internet for good or as a break, upon your return, I will never forgive you for what you have said and for what you have done. I will never forgive you. I never wish to contact or interact with you ever again. You'll never be able to escape your actions, and it's time you face some consequences for what you have done instead of trying to lie or manipulate your way out of it. To the people who used to support Vanzelle before watching this, I am sorry that you have been repeatedly lied to. To the people who continue to support Vanzelle after watching this, I hope that this makes you more aware of her behavioral patterns and you do some serious thinking. But ultimately, at the end of the day, think what you want. I have nothing to hide and no reason to do all of this other than to stand up for what I see as right and to put this information public. I ask you watching this to not send any hate to anyone involved regardless of who you support or what you think of this situation. If you watched all of this, thank you so much for hearing another side to the story. As always, stay safe and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye!